Good morning, everybody, and I hope everybody's well and okay. Welcome to General Morning Chit Chat. The weather right now I can't say it's brilliant, though it's not raining, it's just, best way to describe it, dull. So that's the weather. Now, General Morning Chit Chat. Today I'd like to talk about grudges. Have you ever been in the situation where you've held a grudge? Maybe against a family member, maybe against a friend, maybe against a work colleague. In any relationship, what we have, grudges can form. And grudges, in my book, are like a poison. They can eat away at you. Now, we all, at some point in our lives, has probably held one of these. And they're not very nice. I suppose it depends on how far a person has gone for it to be unforgivable. I bet you're asking why today I'm bringing this subject up. And it's because it has been the festive season. And holding a grudge to someone is really, really sad. When people fall out, and sometimes it can be hard to forgive. Hello, little girl. See, Sammy's really good. There she is, she's in top form, no sneezing, no nothing, she's really good. And yeah, and you wanted to say hello to everybody. Yes, she did. Now, I know a family member, one of my family members actually. How can I put this? One of my family members has been cut off from her family. I don't know what occurred for it to... I'm doing this because... Where have you gone? She wants to stay on. She wants to stay on. But if she poos on this shirt... Oh, there you go. She's saying hello to everybody. There we go. So after my dancing with the budgie, a family member hasn't seen her family in years. And when I say a family, her child. And it's really, really sad. It must be soul destroying. But I suppose I don't know what occurred for that to happen. Whether words were said or anything. They've got grandchildren they've never met. And they're like, they've left school now. And she's never met them. They've never met them. And it must be so soul destroying. She knows that they exist. But do they know she exists? Some words must have been said for that to happen. Let's face it, something must have been said. I really don't know. Now, sometimes words are spoken and they can be so hurtful. And the person didn't realise what they'd said until they'd said it, you know. Sometimes when it's a circle of friends, now this is my situation with the grudge. Sometimes a circle of friends, I'm going sitting down. For whatever reason, like, I was friends with a few people from school. Now we're talking primary school and high school, and then in later life. And I don't see them anymore. One has just moved on, moved away. She's got a family of her own now. And there was no ill feeling. We've just moved on. I've got my life with Richard and she's got her life with her family. And I wish her best. I really do. So there was 3 of us. As for the other friend, I don't know what it was, to be honest. And I don't know what to believe. I still don't. But I was poorly. And rumour had it, her and my partner at the time had, do they call it an affair? And somebody told me that. Was it just Chinese whispers? Was it rumours? I do not know. I asked her about it. And of course she denied it. She was supposedly one of my best friends. And what makes it worse, the whole thing, is the fact that I was poorly in hospital when it happened. They started being together. She denied it. And I bumped into him some years later because our relationship had ended. And I asked him, was it true? He confirmed it was. So after after I confronted her, I think that was the last time I saw her. And a few years later, she got married. And I was never invited to a wedding. We just, one day, our contact was broken. And maybe it was the fact that I did confront her, and she just, well, that was it. But it makes you wonder who was the guilty one, because at least if it was true, he didn't deny it. But then again, he had nothing to lose as well, whereas she did. And he put it, when I asked him about it, he put it where he said he was vulnerable and she took advantage of him. So she was the perpetrator. It makes it sound like she raped him or something. I do not condone rape, by the way. I don't. But that's how he made it sound. She totally took advantage of him. And that's what happened in his eyes when I saw him years later. I suppose he was seeking comfort because he couldn't get his head around all what was happening. Maybe that was to do with it. But it can take two to tango. And, well, I was out of the way, wasn't I? I believe it can happen a lot in friendships. Somebody's boyfriend goes with the best friend. I have heard of it. And this is real. It really was real. And when she did deny it, it's the most terrible thing. But she swore on a little girl's life. Not her little girl, but a little girl who she knew. And that young girl, she got cancer. About a year later, she got cancer. So don't ever swear on somebody's life. Not ever. Anyway, I know I've totally gone off topic and I'm sorry, but talking about grudges. So I suppose I did hold a grudge for a long time. Now, I hadn't seen that friend for ages and ages and ages. And then I saw her pushing a pram. Well, me and my mum did. So my mum said, I want to see your baby. So we walked across the street. And I weren't going to say anything, to be honest. And it was like, I didn't exist. Until I broke the ice. And I said, congratulations. And so then she spoke. It was awkward. It was really, really awkward because you'd sort of like put on the spot. But I could have said to my mum, no, I don't want you crossing the road to look at her baby. I could have said that. And but the ice was broke. And it was like, don't get me wrong, to this day, we're not friends. But how can I say that when nothing was said really? We just, I suppose we did lose contact. But I think too much damage had been done. That's all I can think of. The damage had been done, and I could have trust, like friendships, you trust that person in a different way from being in a relationship, but you've still got to have trust somewhere for friendships to form. And because best friends, usually you have a best friends to tell your secrets to gain advice, to offload. That's what friends are for, usually. So to this day, I believe that something did happen between them. And I'm at peace with it because I'm a married woman now. And it's all in the past. Now, there's probably worse things people have done to other people to make them really hate them. And hate is a strong word. But there's also forgiveness. And I'm thinking, what can be so bad for someone to hold a grudge and not forgive? Well, such things do exist. Like if someone's murdered someone. And I can't imagine that happening. There's other things as well that's unforgivable. There's a lot of bad things that can happen to people. That is beyond comprehension, to be honest. And I'm not going into it because it's too sad and too upsetting. Have you ever been in a situation where you've held a grudge and still hold a grudge to someone? I know it's really, really personal. If you'd like to share, please feel free to share. I can't judge you on your reasons why you couldn't forgive that person, because something could be a billion times more unforgivable than what I went through. But holding grudges, time's a healer as well. If something's happened in a relationship and time's a healer. Sometimes it is only something that someone says. It's funny really, because sometimes people need the courage to say something. And it can only be through if they've had a lot to drink, a lot of alcohol, and the truth starts to spill out of the mouth before they even think about what they're saying. And that's happened to me too, where I said something. I said something to my parents, actually. And I'd never ever spoken out of turn like that ever before. And last New Year, my dad brought it up. And I said I was drunk. I didn't know what I was saying. But weirdly, a drunk person, it's like the courage just takes over. And things just come out. And before you know it, it's out. And in a way, it's a relief. It's really, really strange. I was really drunk at this party. I was really drunk. I don't know what made me this way, but I had too many, and I think I was angry because I was the only one that got up on the karaoke that night. It was a birthday party, and so drinks are flowing. I get up on the karaoke and I sing. And maybe I did make a fool of myself. Maybe I did. And basically I chose the wrong song to sing, and when I sat down, my dad wouldn't let it go. I was saying everyone was laughing at you. And they probably were. But he kept on about it that much that I drank more and more. And before I realised what I was saying, I said something in the lines of, because I was still living with them then, my parents. I said something in the lines of, I can't wait for get away from you two, in regards to moving out. I weren't with Richard then, this was way years before. And it just come out. And then my mum and dad have never forgotten. And if my dad has a drink, he brings it up. And because they were hurt. They were hurt, and I was angry. That's what it boiled down to. Bit like Star Wars, when the line, what Yoda says, he says, anger turns to hate and hate turns to suffering, because that is the circle of things. If I could turn back time and not sing that song, and unsay those words, I would. But that's us being human. It's a bit pathetic, isn't it? I think of how pathetic it was that night. If I drink a lot, it doesn't agree with me, and I know it. So I tend not to have too much. If I do have a drink, I barely drink, if I'm honest. So 28 minutes has gone. Okay. Please feel free to offload. Turn to someone if you need to talk things out, because you'll feel so much better if you do. It's all about talking. Everybody should talk sometime. And if you feel there's no one to turn to, there are call centres that will listen. I think I've mentioned things like the crisis team and things. It's just having another ear. Because it does eat you up inside. So if you hold any grudges, talk them out with someone. Try and make sense of it too. All the time I play back. And it's years later. I still think about it. Years later. But please don't suffer over it. Whatever it is. Because that's how problems start. Okay. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and a subscription. As always, it does mean so much to us. Please check out all my other videos and content, as you may enjoy them and find them interesting. I love you commenting on my videos. Please be respectful though. Okay. I'll answer every comment I can. If it's something I don't understand though, you may get a question mark. So please elaborate on what you mean. Okay, if you do receive one of those after a comment you've posted. Okay. So I'm trying my best to answer all your comments. Somebody did do loads of posts yesterday on my videos. He made it plain, I think, that he didn't like my videos. That's absolutely fine. Because all my videos aren't for everyone. You know, that's the whole point, isn't it? So I am open to criticism. Just don't be nasty. That's all I ask, okay? So please enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing. We are going to my mum's at lunchtime, so I'll not be able to do lunchtime with me. I'm ever so sorry. But tonight, when we do come home, I may do something with you then. Okay? So please take care of yourself. This is still the festive season. Be vigilant and careful, whatever you're doing. And please stay safe. Okay? So we'll see you all soon. Okay? Bye.